Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? I've decided I've got an hour or so I can do a bit of streaming. I hope you're well. Hope everything's going all right where you are. And that the weather is good. And I know it's really late for my European chums. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it. I can only begin once other members of my family don't need me anymore. So I come and hide in the little room. Oh, that's not a very interesting screen to start with. Let's bounce back over to Unity. There we go. I'm going to be working on algorithms this evening. Algorithms! And I'm going to be refactoring and rebuilding a whole bunch of Steam algorithm because I found a problem with it. And then as I started to pick apart the problem, it got icky. So the steam pressure algorithm is, commented out code, how I hate thee. So steam pressure algorithm is in here. We've got a little bit of Dijkstra. We've got an update, which is not an update method, because this is not a mono behavior, and it's a singleton. And I think the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to have slightly different. I'm going to try and add more code on before I take code away. That's the aim. So let's see how far we get. The first thing that needs to have more code. So the Steam algorithm, Unity's got some issues with the lighting. The Steam algorithm is the thing that calculates the steam that comes from here and goes all the way along the pipes to there. So if I come and lay some pipes in, I'll show you what I mean. It sounds more complicated than it is, I think. Although, now I've said that out loud. Those bugs are not my problem. That's Unity. Right. So if I come in here and I lay a whole bunch of pipes and connect them together, and then I turn on the boiler's going a bit bonkers at the moment because the algorithm's a bit broken. And as you can see there, I've now powered up this leg here using steam from the boiler. The boiler is red hot at the moment, but that's a bug that we're going to fix while we do it. So the algorithm that works out how to connect that there boiler to that there leg, and also how to deal with splits in the pipe so you can power more than one machine. And as if that wasn't enough, you can also join the boilers together to have super power. And if you do that, you need to deal with the idea that boilers can sort of add their steam together. It's not particularly realistic, because realistic actually isn't that much fun. I tried that first time round with my very first version of the algorithm, and yeah, it was awful. So I deleted that pretty quickly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to have some more steam components, because the way I've got this set up, it's not great. I've got a station class over here. This one is going to have some changes done to it. And what the stations are all the things that you can put steam into. So we got legs, and we've got the con here, and we've got the map, and we've got the periscope, we've got the extremely important T-boiler, 6 legs up and down, the grinder, and we've got the grabber. So we've got all these stations, and each one of them needs to consume steam in different ways. And I think that's the nub of my problem. I think it's the fact that they consume steam in a different way. That's why it got complicated fast. So, and also where all my bugs came from, in all fairness. So what I'm going to do is I'm first of all going to, I think there are some bits of the code I can keep. So if we look at the steam pressure algorithm, I'm going to look at register and deregister. I'm going to ignore that for the minute because I know that, actually we will talk about those. So the way that we know that steam is passing is because they have these steam ports. So a steam port is this gold thing on the end. I'm quite pleased with myself about this because steam ports, it's all about the steam ports. So boilers have them, and also the pipes themselves. If we come and have a look at the pipes. The pipes too have steam ports, and they work in much the same way. And they really all about joining these Steam ports up is how the whole algorithm works. But when something is created or at start time, it registers itself. It says, hey, Mr. Steam algorithm, I have a Steam port and here it is. And if something has more than one, then it registers itself 3 times. So that's register. And there's another type that is I consume steam pressure, which adds to consumers. And that's one of the bits I'm going to change, I think. And then we have a deregister, which just takes it away. And that's for when you delete a pipe. You don't want the algorithm to keep trying to calculate steam for something that doesn't exist. And then the algorithm has 2 pieces. It first of all tries to work out how much steam goes around the network. And then it applies the steam pressure to consumers. So the stations themselves. So I think this bit is fine. I don't think this bit is going to change at all. So I'm going to leave that alone. But I think this is where the problem lies. And it's pretty ugly. Oh yes, I don't actually have chat open. I should do that. I have done this before. How have we got over on YouTube? Bragma Twice. Hello, good to see you. Cyber Habanero. Ping more steam. I agree. More steam indeed. Welcome everybody. So, if you put any steam through the system at all at the moment, it just goes bang. That's not great. So what I want to do is I want to change how the steam consumers work. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 new classes, and this is how I set up my domain here. And I've got stations, and then I don't really have a domain object for Steam. I wonder if I've got the Steam indicator, but I do wonder whether that is a thing that I am missing. So it doesn't have. So where does the Steam algorithm live? Steam algo. No, algorithm. Oh, I can't actually spell Steam, it would seem. Oh, Steam algorithm. Where does this live? Where does it live in here? Lives in pipes. Okay, so fair enough. I'm saying that Steam is really a facet of pipes. That's not entirely true if it's the consumers. That's a facet of stations. So this is where I've got this God class that they all have, and that's nasty. So that's what I'm going to try and remove, or at least minimize. It's right to have a few bits in there, but it's not great. So the first one I want is a consumer which takes a bit of steam but doesn't gobble all of the steam. It just takes a little bit. So that's a kind of a capped consumer. So it's a capped consumer. Another way of saying it, capped consumer. And so I make a new script called capped consumer. Although, having said that, I want the word steam in there. Capped steam consumer. Steam capped consumer. Naming things is hard, especially when you've been doing it all day at work. Capped steam consumer. That'll do. It won't have changed the name of the C# class for reasons. Let's sort that out. And we don't need this gumph in here for the minute. So, a capped steam consumer is going to be owned by all of the stations. So there's a really neat way. I could go through here and select all the stations. But instead what I can do is, if I come in here and I say actually every station needs a capped steam consumer, is that true? That is not true. Because some of them you want to be capped, some of them you don't. So I'm going to have to do this manually. Rats. I hoped I was going to be able to do that automatically. 1-1 Lion. Lovely to see you. Om nom nom clomp to you as well, sir. Hope you're well. You're keeping well today? I missed your stream. I'm terribly sorry. I was being beaten up by an 8-year-old. I did ask for it. In a sense, I'm paid for it as well, which is a bit of a worrying thing to think about. Right. Create your own destroyers, they said. It would be great fun, they said. Okay, so should we just do one station? A capped one. 1-1. Definitely keeping well, and you never have to apologise for missing a stream. Oh, it's fine. It's always nice to see, but never expected. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, 1-1. I do love your streams. They're totally chill. I love that. So, a good one to start with is the map, because it's a nice one and it's very visual. So let's start with that. Let's make, this is going to have to be a capped, yeah, this will be a capped one. And we know it's a capped one because it only needs a certain amount of steam and then it doesn't need any more. So it only needs a bit. So we're going to, the amount of steam that something needs, we're going to make this a private flow. This is the amount of steam that it needs. So this is the required, minimum required, and we'll just make that, well, it'll have to be probably lowercase, and it's going to be serialized so we can edit it in the editor. I think I'm going to be balancing these values a fair amount. Now there are some other things I know that I need from this, but I'm going to steal them straight off the station class. Have I pinned the station class? Good, let's pin that as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on here. This class is already horrible. And you may be looking at this thinking, oh, that's not horrible, I've seen worse. And that's fair enough, but for me this is horrible. And the reason it's horrible is we've got a whole mix of different things going on in here. We've got stuff to do with steam pressure. Well, okay, fine. And then we've got stuff to do with its health, whether it's broken or not. And we've got stuff to do with whether it's on or not. And that's a bit nasty. And I don't really like the idea that it's trying to do lots of different things. So I'm going to try and extract out some of the old steam stuff out of here. So we're going to need visited, we're going to need distance, and we're going to need resistance. And I'll explain what those are in a minute. Oh, it wants to rebuild. But we don't want to do that. We want to go to other class. So we're going to take these ones. Now distance is set outside. So that does need to be public. Visited also set outside, as does resistance. So those things do make sense to be set to be properties because they are visible to other things. That's the old steam pressure. We don't care about that one. Okay, we probably need these ones. That's the total pressure that can be given. And that's all. Consumed is the weird one. Consumed might be the odd one. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take this one because we know we need that one for the steam algorithm. And that's a read-over property, which is one of my infrastructure classes. That just allows it to be read-only in the editor. Right. What else can we steal unceremoniously out of here? We're going to need the steam values, annoyingly, which is something that I don't like very much. But we're going to roll with it. Or are we? Am I going to be a complete iconoclast and change that as well? I think we're going to leave that for a moment. I'll come back and I can change that. When you're re-architecting something, try and do one thing at a time. Don't try and re-architect 10 things in one go. Otherwise, you spend a lot of time redoing the same stuff that you have. So, has steam pressure? That could be interesting. Has steam ports? No, I don't really know where this is used. How is this used? Well, it's set up and then it's used in the algorithm. Okay, so if it's used in the algorithm, then we need to move that over. Let's move it over into cap steam consumer. Right. I wonder if I can completely take away. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here I still need. See this, I need this. Anytime you see anything like it says client RPC, that's for netcode. And that's really necessary. So things breaking, things getting repaired, and forcing players out and disconnect. Yeah, those sorts of things I can't get rid of. That's breaking. That's fine. Switching on and off. That's probably fine to stay. And then this one's probably going to go. And this one is definitely going to go. So I'm just going to stick a to-do in. I stick a 4-letter code after to do, and this is a good thing if you're working in a team with a lot of people. Top tip for you. So if you're working in a team with a lot of people, then and you put a to-do in, it's nice to put a 4-letter code so you can tell what comments are yours and what comments belong to others. So some other examples would be if you had one line, it would be you take the first 2 letters of his first name, and then 1 is the next 2 letters of his second name, or it could be 1 is actually his first name and Lion is his second name. So he would be Only. Irish John would be Urjo. Is another great streamer if you're aware of Irish John. So it's great if you've got lots of people on a coding together, then you can work out people's work out who wrote the comment, and you can filter by your own. It's a 1-1 would be good. It'll be Wawoo. You just take 2 at the front, 2 at the bottom. 1-1, and you haven't heard the word in a while. Iconoclast, yes. Oh, I'm full of surprises. Don't know whether I'm using the word correctly, but at least I tried. But that would be Hookra. Hookra's a good one. Hookra. That sounds a little bit like something that a adventurer would have to travel across many a waste to go into a deep dark cave to then fight to get hold of some sort of animal. I went forth and I fought the Hookra. That everyone has these initials pretty much. I know some people only have one name, and you just take the first 4 letters of their one name. You big Hookra. That's true. 1-1. That would. so everyone has an, and it's really handy. Remove as part of the Steam algorithm change, which is pretty obvious because I think this method is going to die this evening anyway. Cool. So I'm gonna leave it there for the moment, and then this probably that's probably okay actually, because what this does is it says I'm switch on if the amount of pressure you have is actually more than the amount that you need. But I think what that needs to actually do is talk to its consumer and go, have you got enough steam? Are you on? I think that's the right thing to do. And then it depends. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. So I'm probably going to need, I know this is dirty, but I can tidy this up another time. Public interface. I wish everything was internal, but I started, so I finished this way. So this one was I am a consumer, and we're putting that interface in so that a station can have access to its consumer. I am a what am I doing? I'm a consumer. Cool. So we'll probably have to put some values in here in a minute, but those ones are probably obvious, so let's stick those in. That's going to whinge at me. Yes, I know. There we go. Definitely need those because the Steam algorithm needs those. Might need that as well. We'll come back to that. Right. Okay. So now what we do, back in the Steam algorithm, everything is going to need to register itself. So very much I'm thinking that these consumers here are going to be responsible for registering themselves on Awake. So we're going to get our Awake method. Fire forward Awake. So each one is going to say to Steam algorithm, hey, I'm a consumer of things. I need a consumer of Steam. I need to be registered, please. And I'm going to keep 2 separate lists on the Steam algorithm because we want to deal with these differently. So I'm going to have, see, this is fine. I don't really like that, but we'll have different types. So we're going to have a register for consumers, and we're going to go with the capped Steam consumer, and we're going to make a list of them so we can keep hold of them. I know this is like slightly chunky way of doing things, but this is all done at startup time, so it's all on the heap at start. It's all cached. It's not going to be making these kinds of consumers like the stations and that. They're there throughout the game, so that's all good. So capped, we're going to see if I really unlikely if capped if it doesn't contain contains if what oh, here we go, I've called the same thing. Capped consumer. So if the list contains the capped consumer, if it doesn't contain it, we're going to add it. Oh, I've missed a brace. So if it doesn't contain it, then we want to add it in. Oh, it's guessed it for me. Beautiful. And then what we want to do is we want to order things. Cyber, hey, I need to have a tea break before night. See you, Captain. Thank you, Cyber Habanero. Great to see you. Thanks for popping in. Lovely to have you on board. We're going to sort this list of capped, and we're going to keep it sorted. Capped is capped. Order by. Oh, bit of link. Filthy link. In game dev, I know. Horrendous. People using link. This is only done at game start, so it's not a problem. And I want to register it, and I want to, at the capped, I want to do it in ascending order. I want the lowest first. So if there's capped steam consumer, this is the point where I'm going to need something in here which is minimum required is going to have to be, there's going to have to be a, there's a neat way of doing this. You can go field, serialize it, and then you can do, is that right? Oh, is it the, oh yes, yeah, private set. So you can do a public get private set, and you could do that. Oh, what do I call it? It's quite late for me. Right, you do this, and then you can have this. It's going to be minimum required with a capital, and it's a public get private set. Fantastic. We don't need that one anymore. So that should allow it. This field serialize field allows it to appear in Unity. That's a bit naughty. Let's have that. And private set. What? Accessibility modifier must be more restrictive than the what? The property or indexer. The accessibility modifier of set must be more restrictive. It must be more restrictive because this needs to be public. Oh, fatigue. Anybody? Fantastic. Okay, so we don't want to look at that one just yet. Back to the algorithm. So the algorithm is we're registering these capped steam consumers, and I want to order them in order. But it won't be able to turn that into a numeral. Okay, and we'll go to list. Lovely. Not particularly performant, but it's not in the game loop. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No one cares. Okay, it's on startup. It's fine. No problem. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put more specific versions of these in, as opposed to having really generic-y ones, so I can have separate lists. Separate lists are going to become important. Okay, so now we've got a register method. Now this cap consumer, when it starts itself up, steam pressure algorithm instance, and because it's a singleton, and we're going to register, and we're going to register this. Is that enough? That looks like enough. It's probably enough. Splendid. Okay. So the next thing it needs to do, I am a consumer, will need to have a method. I'll return void for now, but I think that's probably not right. I think it might need to return something, but we'll come back to that. And of course, we're now not implementing that properly, so let's have a new method. Why did you do that? Don't do that. So we're going to have to consume it. And consuming steam is all about, you're going to need to be told how much steam that you're allowed to do. So we're not going to consume. Consume's going to do nothing just yet. First of all, we're going to make sure that the algorithm is working against the total potential pressure, that we get these values in here. So over into the steam pressure algorithm, and it's going to, now this is where it might get a bit squirrely. So if we look at this, it comes in all the things that in the nodes. Okay, so the nodes are all the things that have a Steam port. Fine. Okay. So I have a Steam port, has to be, so we're going to have to register them in the big list of all the things that can possibly have anything to do with Steam. Otherwise, this part of the Steam algorithm can't. Oh, actually, it's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. If it's not a consumer, it doesn't do any of that. Ah, interesting. Okay. So if it's not a consumer, then it just what? Hey, so it comes in here. It's going to do it 1,000 times. So that doesn't matter. It will break out before it gets to the end. And then it says if it's visited, it's true. Oh, of course, yeah. You don't want it to be a consumer. You actually just want to do only pipes. And the reason you only want pipes is because the consumer doesn't pass anything on. By which I mean, once the steam gets to a leg, it doesn't come back out again. It just stops there. Whereas the pipes keep pushing the steam onwards. So this is a bit nasty, actually. This is a bit nasty because really what we want to do is we don't want to consume steam pressure here. We want to say if it's a pipe. In fact, we only really want to go along the pipes, I think. Oh, do we? No, because of the neighbour. It still becomes a neighbour if it's a consumer. Okay. Okay, fine. I have steam port. Okay, we'll just reproduce this for now in our new methods. But I'm not convinced that's a good idea. Okay, so we're going to add. We're also going to add it to nodes. If it's added to one, it's added to the other. Now that's going to complain because capped consumer does not implement that, so that's fine. Let's go and say I have a steam port. And I have a steam port means that this needs to know about the steam ports. And if it has a steam port, then it's probably, oh good lord, it needs all of this stuff. It needs all this. Fine, we got some of that. We've got clear steam pressure, is quite interesting. And we got all that stuff. Let's nick that out of there. And already this is looking ugly, but it's fine. Sometimes you just got to keep going for a bit. Steam port, I have pressure, total steam pressure, they're all methods. And a name, it already has a name. Make these public again. Public. Steam ports, that has to be public, otherwise I can't see it. And public. And it has steam ports down there, that's fine. Steam values. Steam values are interesting, that's still internal. And then we're going to need these. We don't need that. Total potential pressure. Okay, fine. That's just the calculated property. That's all the pressure that's coming in here. And that will just be total potential pressure value. Because this is the network variable and I don't want to keep that hidden inside. In fact, now we can make that private. We don't need that one to be protected even. So we keep this one hidden inside here, and then that's what the algorithm can use to find out. Oh, and it's right below it as well. Oh dear, I'm not at all reproducing stuff, honest. All right, these all need to be public, otherwise there'll be trouble ahead. And it needs to have a body. Public, that one needs to have a body. This is all setting potential pressure. I think I can nick this code straight out of station actually, because I don't think it's going to change. Set potential pressure, yeah, I don't want to have to redo that. That's quite sensible. And clear steam pressure is probably also quite sensible. So I could just steal this straight out. Steal it straight out. Let's kill that off. And let's stop it from registering the station. That's going to break quite a lot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's broken. Chat. Everything's broken, and it's okay. No, sometimes you just got to break everything. Oh dear. Okay, so this is not server. That's because this now needs to be a network behavior. And Oh, has potential steam pressure. Is that a thing that I need? Oh, lazy setup steam value. Okay, that's the thing that I need, and has potential steam pressure. Has, I think this is a, has potential steam pressure. What? Isn't that calculated? Had steam potential. Oh, okay, has steam potential. Where is this used? Interesting. There's a whole bunch. I'm just going to rip out of there and pop it in here. Only the map is going to actually be able to have any steam, which is funny really. Total consumed. Oh, okay, that's now getting into the world of consuming. Lazy setup steam value. What does this do? Lazy setup steam value. So, okay, so well, this is a bit. I think this is nasty, but fine. Okay. So what this does is it says every single thing that consumes steam. So going back into Unity. So all of these things, this thing here, all of these legs, the periscope, the T-boiler, the whole lot, each one can be connected to one or all of these boilers. So you need to remember, if you're a map here, you need to say, well, I'm connected to boiler 1 and boiler 2 and boiler 3. So it needs to know all of its boilers that it's connected to. And I've done this as a dictionary, and I don't really like it, but okay. It's not great, but it will do for now. Really, it should be a fixed list, because there's only going to be 4 boilers. So why would you have more? That's fine. Cool. How broken are we at the moment? What's left on here that needs to be set potential pressure for? What? I thought I had that one. Set potential pressure for? Hello? That should be easy to do. That, which you can just steal that. Steal this one. If I steal it, there we go. Send potential pressure. I nicked it. It doesn't need to be virtual because nothing's going to override this. Why is that whinging at me? Why doesn't it like that? Capped steam consumer does not implement potential pressure for. Oh, is that a helper method? It's a helper method. It's this one. Okay. So that's the helper method for that. Oh, and it's gone is broken. Ah, now capped steam consumer doesn't care about is broken. It doesn't care whether something is broken particularly. So, however, it does make sense that it checks that. So this needs to know about its parent. That's fine. For the moment, we're going to have private station. It'll need to know about its parent, but that's okay. We can get rid of that in the future. We'll just do this one bit at a time. So, and then that becomes parent is broken. Let's check the chat. What have we got going on in chat? And TJ Robinson, season's greetings. Hello, Tom. Welcome to Twitch. It's good to see you. Hope you're well, TJ. TJ does make you sound more like a cop than the person I know that you are. Which is not a cop. Wasn't TJ Hooker a cop from a... Wasn't that same fellow who played Captain Kirk? He played... Wasn't that TJ? Oh, you're a secret cop. Oh, very good. Well, the best thing to do then, TJ, is not to tell everyone on Twitch that that's the case. Right? Top tip for you. I hope you're doing well. You've missed some fantastic lunchtime-based shenanigans, by the way. Right. So, assuming that's the same TJ Robinson. 82? Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so where are we at? We have now moved. All of this stuff here is really for the spreading part of the algorithm. All this bit is about the spread of steam, and I don't really want to mess with that because that works perfectly well. Why is this still got references? Set potential pressure 4. I thought we'd killed that. That's interesting. So That's going to get removed. Oh, clear steam pressure. Okay, so now the station also needs to know about its the thing that's going to be it's doing its consumering. I think this interface is going to go away eventually. I'll keep it there for now. I think this I am consumer is the thing that's going to go, but I'm a bit surprised actually. This is called on the server because I've named it that way, and it's about breaking. I will have to pause very soon just for a few moments while I say goodbye and good night to my daughter. Oh yes, so oh. And I'm back. Just normally a pitch invasion just runs in, just runs in like the chaos engine that she is. So clearing the steam pressure, that is the job of the thing that's managing all the steam, which is now this new capped steam consumer. Again, it does make me feel that's slightly becoming large and unnecessary. What we're going to do is we're just going to have a reference to that to start with. But I think this will change in the end. Can we just call it now? Not every station will have a capped. Some will have some will have the other type. So I consume. What did I call it? I'm a consumer. Of course I did. How very DDD of me. That's my steam consumer. Oh, and it's private. Oh my goodness. My ability to code this evening has gone completely out the window. So it's get component, and it should be on the same level. So we can just do the I am a consumer. Oh, and thank you. I've reached my follower goal on Twitch. I now have 60 followers. My goodness. Oh, thank you for ever just press the button. Let's find out who that was. Oh, I think it was, all right, Pandemic 34. Thank you so much. Oh, you got some other lovely followers. Got Nerve 27, thank you. Tom, Krumer, Shame to Lose. Oh, I recognise that one. You can't hide. I have adding boutons to my salad. Yes. Yes. And hello, Zach. Great to see you too. That's good. Yes, you should add more boutons to your salad. I think I said that instead of button because I don't know why I say bouton. I probably picked that up from the Yogscast. It sounds like the sort of thing I'd stolen from them. So the steam consumer is the thing that's going to consume. This is going to be quite a heavy codey one today, because there's going to be quite a lot I have to do before anything's going to work at all. And that's clear steam pressure now. No, that's not on the interface at all. So I need to wang it on there. Is it actually just clear? Yes, it's a void. That's fine. Cool. So much is broken. I'd be surprised if this built. Well, it did. No, it didn't. Of course it does. Right. Okay, so here we go. This is where I've got my work cut out for me, because quite a lot of these shouldn't have this anymore. Right. Okay, no problem. No problem. I will take all those off and then I'll add them all on again. Brilliant. I'm not going to deal with that at the moment. That's going away. Applied steam pressure complete. That's a bit of a worry. So let's now, so it will build, I'm going to do this. Kill that off there. I can measure steam is interesting as well, because it shouldn't be doing this. This is going to be such a mess. It's fine. Periscope is no longer a consumer of steam. It will consume steam, it's just not, this class isn't. This class is just going to have the map. The map definitely doesn't need it because that's already got one of the new consumers on it. Get rid of that as well. Lift, leg, that's going to go away. I have speed. My favourite implement, my favourite interface name. Consume steam pressure. Oops, hello. And wow, this is already going to be a large job. It's a good job that I was like getting really close. I was so close to putting a demo together. I really was. I really was. I was really very close. and then I found what I thought was a bug, a little bug in the Steam. In the last stream it was, I thought I'd found a little bug, and the deeper I looked, I realised that it was just my algorithm that was wrong. And that it would never have worked how I thought it should work. Which, it's not great, is it? It's not brilliant. Over on the chat. It is fun to add boutons to a salad. 1-1. I completely agree. It's a fair shout. Zach, Yogscast, I remember watching their MC videos 10 years ago. Yes, the Shadow of Israfel was wonderful and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we all enjoyed Diggy Diggy Hole and what it became. And the stream type should have been Steamy Game Dev with Rob. Yes, that would be better. In fact, in the future, Zach, I think I'm just going to drop you a message before I go online and say, I need a good title for this. Try and keep it clean. And then we see what we come up with. Right. Set potential steam pressure. Now this is a fantastic. This is where I know I'm doing the right thing. Okay, I don't often come about, but this tells me that this is the right thing. As a side effect of the way I set this up, the boilers, they produce steam, and then everything else uses steam. So the boilers make it, these things produce it. And the good thing about that is that they all sort of use much the same algorithm because they've got steam ports. So they all get treated in the same way, but they're not the same. The boilers don't consume anything. The boilers tell everything else how much steam there is. It doesn't have its own. So there were loads of things about the boiler that were quite different, and yet they were using the same code. So I ended up doing this stuff, like set potential steam pressure, which is a nonsense. The steam algorithm doesn't care. So it shouldn't be on the boiler, and neither should that one. And neither should that one. Yes, that's correct. Those things, they should not be on the boiler. It's still giving me a red line. Why is that? I have steam port. Oh, you do have a steam port. That's interesting now. Okay, so is that... Oh, okay, so I need those things on there still. So I've still not quite got it right, but that's okay. They're just not overridden. Does it have a steam... Right, I need to, otherwise it really won't build, ever. Right, okay. Okay. So, some of this stuff is now going to have to... So they got steam you got steam consumer that can consume, and it attaches itself into... It registers itself with the algorithm. And then when it registers itself, adds it onto a big old list. And that's it, really. I think that's fine. And then this is quite interesting, where I actually pass it a boiler. Am I doing them one by one? Yes, I do. For each boiler, I spread the steam out everywhere, which is correct. That is what I want to happen. That's fine. Okay, so if that's how that is happening, is that correct? Yes, that is correct. So it starts with the boiler, and then it runs round. But it doesn't really need... The boiler doesn't need to be the current. The current can be the thing that the boiler is attached to. Not sure I'm a massive fan of that, but that's fine, because it's the current has to be the steam port. Okay, so everything has a steam port. Yeah, that's weird. That is really weird, but it's fine for now. But it's weird because, yeah, Although, yeah, that's weird. Not sure I like that, but come back to it. Now, the problem I've got now is that the stations, I've removed the ability for the stations to register themselves. So I probably need another class for a steam producer. So I'm going to make another one. I might end up just deleting all of this. I might get to it, I might, in the cold light of Friday lunchtime, I may open this up and I'll go, what is this? Sitting here with my sandwich. Like, what have I done? And then delete it all. It's fine. It's fine. So here's a new steam producer. Here's a brand new thing. And the steam producer is really only going to be used by the boiler at the moment. Maybe one day there could be other things. So let's attach this to the boiler. Now the boiler, because there's more than one of them, I made it into a prefab. Here it is. Ah, such a beautiful thing. And onto that boiler we're going to add the steam producer script. Did I put that in with the other ones? Because that would be weird if I put it in there. Shouldn't be next to steam producer. Okay, and where is the steam producer? It's in with the station stuff. No, I can handle that. That's fine. So I'll stick that in there. Steam producer onto this one. Cool. So that now produces steam. Doesn't do anything, but it produces steam. Now, rather than have the boiler, so rather than the boiler object, because the boiler class is doing far too much work. It's got heat, damage, sprites in there. Blah, it's doing too much. This is just, it's become too big. So I'm going to kill that off. And that means that it's now going to... Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, look at all of these. Look at all of these methods. There's just too many. So we need probably those ones on the consumer, just on the producer, just for the moment. Just for the moment. And then we'll have this as the I have... Well, is that right? Is that what we just... hang on a minute. But compare with unmodified. And I have Steamport. Okay. Fine. It's a bit like the... Yeah, okay, fine. I have Steamport. And we want to implement all of that. Look at all of that nonsense. Oh my goodness me. Oh, come on, Fisher Stewart. It's obvious that I don't want those to be... Ugh. Have I got automatic prettify set up? I wonder. I can't remember if I do for this project. Steamports are going to have to be set up, and has steam pressure is... ooh, that's interesting. What is it? Oh, that's just a get, but that's because... that might have to get it from somewhere else. That's fine. Let's just set that to 60 for a laugh, and then let's set that to true. Oh dear, this is the worst kind of refactoring ever, because I'm just ripping everything out all at the same time. Don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing. This is madness. Right, so we're going to have a different sort of register. We're going to register this time. This is an awful thing to do on a stream. But fine. The producer, we're gonna have a steam. We're gonna allow the boilers to register themselves with a steam algorithm. So this is where. So we do want to add it onto the nodes, yes. But oh, that's quite interesting. I can't now pass that in. Oh, maybe there's a better way of doing this now. So rather than do the boilers, we can have producers. Because this is not very nice, because it's having to reach inside the instance there, which is a singleton, to get the boilers. And that's not really very nice. We actually want the producers. So we want a list of producers. Private list producer. Steam producer. Producers, of course, and we can add this. We can do the same thing if it doesn't contain it. I've not done any deregistering yet, because deregistering isn't important if it's one of the machines. So we're going to just pop this in here. This is all going to complain for the moment. Producers. And the producer can be a node. And do we care about ordering them? Yes, but by name, I think, because I've called them 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's handy. If they're in the right order, it's a bit less confusing, I think. Did I call them that? I don't know. Answer on a postcard. What did I call them? I called them Boiler 1, Boiler 2, Boiler 3, Boiler 4. Past me did a clever thing. I'm going to take credit for all of that. Let's pop over to chat. Oh no. Yes, Zach. Oh no, generally, frankly. Pandemic 34. Hello. Good to see you. What could go wrong? Literally everything. Literally the lot. Oh, and it's a school night, so I can't even stream for that long. So I may be leaving the code in a horribly broken state, which I don't like at all. Okay, so when it breaks on the server to one, I'm going to just pretend that that's not going to happen. And that'll be okay. Okay, so rather than taking in a boiler, we can take in a producer. This is better already. This is nice. That's more specific. I like that. Now it's going to complain about that, so that's fine. And that has a steam port. That's okay. So that's a producer. So now we can just do var producer in our producers. Okay, that's all nice and internal now. We're not reaching out to a singleton. Already better, but it's complaining. Some of these things. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, that's a thing that only a boiler has. In fact, only a steam producer has, is unused pressure. And that's great, because that is a thing that we need. I'm going to set it just as a public thing to start with. Is that how I spelt it? I have no idea. At this point, I'm vibe coding without using AI. Unused pressure. Oh, all right. Okay, so this thing here, that tells me it's actually it's actually a network behavior, and this is a very special thing because it is a what is that on the it should be a network variable, unused pressure, and it sets to 100. Well, that would have been the bug that I saw earlier today. Because that shouldn't be the case. Right, that's fine. Okay, let's pop over to Steam Producer. Stick in unused pressure at 100. Let's not make it 100 though. That is a terrible idea. That should just be new, because otherwise it's going to blow up immediately, and we don't need that now. Cool. I kind of prefer... Unless it's going to be set externally. I much prefer making these private, hidden inside the class, so that things outside don't know. Yeah, I think I am going to do that actually. And then, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not yet. Not yet. I can tidy that. I will be back in here. This is a nonsense. That doesn't make any sense, nor does that. That just doesn't make any sense, because the boiler creates steam pressure. It can't be cleared. You can turn it off, and this is also a nonsense as well. So we can turn with 0, but that's a nonsense. Although the steam algorithm might be using that. Is the steam algorithm using it? Yeah, it is. But it's not really, because it's not a boiler. Okay, so that's fine. It's never going to use that. So that's fine. So we're going to remove that in a minute. So set the potential freezer for the producer, which happens to be a boiler. Oh, this is going to complain now because that's expecting a boiler. Oh dear! Now I've changed the type. It's going to ripple through everywhere, and that's going to be a lot of things built. But hey, type-safe languages do help you from messing everything up. Right. Here's a good point. Yes. Okay. The heat algorithm needs to know about the unused pressure, and it can in a minute. Not yet. Not yet. So I have steam port. This does not. Yeah, that's true. And this just screams it's the wrong thing because you wouldn't pass it in to itself. That's just nonsense. These comments are correct. This is nonsense. It's all going away. That doesn't make any sense. Right. This one, however, it just needs its type changing. What? Have steam? What? This probably has boiler instead. Oh, is everything going to have to get... God, everything's going to have to get moved over. Steam producer, it's fine. Steam producer, lazy setup, that's a steam producer, so that needs to be a steam producer. I'm going to say the word steam producer so many times that it's going to lose all meaning soon. Right. Oh yes, this is all completely gone sideways. Although this is... Oh yeah, that's right. For each steam producer, you've got to hold on to the values. No, that's correct. That we don't care about just yet. We'll come back to that one. Yeah. Steam values. What am I doing here? Is that in pipe? Oh, that should just new up automatically. We don't want to do that. Sometimes I like being specific and explicit. Not there. Right. That was completely unnecessary. Okay, oh then this one is dealing with boilers. That shouldn't have that. Boiler. Super. That's going to break quite a lot. Unused pressure. Ah, okay. Boiler unused pressure doesn't have it. That's fine. Haha, okay. So this shouldn't be talking to the boiler. It should be talking about the steam producer, because that's where this is the boiler debug UI. So, and yeah, so that goes into there. So it is going to be a boiler in this because it's the boiler UI. That's fine. So it's now using that new class. Okay, this is where it gets a bit nasty. But that's in consume. So in consume, this is going away. So I can just comment the whole thing out. I hate commenting out code, but in this case, to keep moving, got to do it. Okay, it will go away, and now we got these ones. Okay, so this is cool. So this is the boiler, and the boiler needs to know how much pressure is not used so it can heat itself up. That's fine, but it can get at its producer child. You are a producer child. So private steam producer. And this is our producer. And that's fine. It's always going to be the same, so it'll always be on the same level. So we can just do a steam producer in there. That's lovely. And now it will be producer unused value. Excellent. And oh, that's very nice. Look, a little bit of IntelliSense. I've not got Copilot or anything on at the moment, but it's just detected that I've done a change and I want to do it again. And I do want to do it again. So I doff my hat to you, dear Visual Studio, for not being complete rubbish. It's not the greatest UI in the world, but I'm productive in it, so that's what counts, doesn't it? What's going on? New LLM Rob Lang 3.5.0. You know, many moons ago, I had the opportunity of working with the algorithms that later became what we used to call combative or aggressive neural networks, where you have two neural networks, one that trains on a thing and another thing that just generates nonsense but gets attacked by the trained one. And these, they were quite interesting, but they weren't that interesting because they were still neural networks. They were boring feed-forward neural networks. and I still hold that all of those boring feed-forward neural networks are just bigger. They're still not very interesting. They're the same ones that I was writing in 1996, and they just haven't moved on. They're just bigger. So, right, it's building now. Oh, it's not going to run. Let's see what happens. This is not going to end well. I'm going to see a lot of red in here. I'm going to see a lot of red in here anyway, because Unity seems to not be a very happy thing at the moment. Oh, look. Oh, no, it's actually got loads more in here. Look. Oh, yes. So these top ones, these VFX Manager ones, that's not to do with me. But this one down here. Right. Steam ports must have a parent. Oh, look, it's my own error. That's my own. This is my own error message. Steam ports must have a parent that implement I have Steam port. Okay. Right. Fine. That just means that I have two options. Yeah, I mean that's true. That is true. What is that parent used for? Probably lots of things. Yeah. If it's a consumer, then oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff it needs to do. It's got a lot of work. Yeah, if it has measuring whether it's got steam pressure, whether the steam comes out, whether it makes noise. Okay, that's fine. So it tried to find something that I have Steam port in its parent, but it couldn't. It couldn't, and that's that's fair. And I've not set up my debugging very well, so it's not showing me particularly easily where. But I know what it is. It is everything that has a Steam port. So boilers. Is that a boiler? Interesting. No, it's right front. There are the legs. Cool. What I'm going to do then is, for the moment, we're going to make everything be a capped consumer, which I don't want. I don't want it eventually, but for now that'll be fine. Let's stop that. I've been caught out by that before. And down in the station, let's go. We're going to say that yeah, a leg won't be capped in the end. You should be able to. What? Saving failed. Check the console window. Okay, let's do that. Error while saving prefab. We're trying to save a prefab with missing script. That's not allowed. So I am. Wonder what script that is. Interesting. Well, let's remove it then and hope that that's okay. Thanks Unity for that helpful feedback. Brilliant. I don't know. So boiler doesn't need one. Dial is not a thing. Grabber. Is the grabber a station? Yes, but it's not a prefab. So all the legs now have one. That's fine. They're prefabs because there's 6 of them. There's no point having them separately. Let's go down the list. So down the list over here on the body, we've got health, we've got boilers. The grabber will need one. The grabber needs it. So let's go to station top level. And we're going to stick in the old cap screen. There we go. There's our new class. We're going to pop that on there. Boop. There you go. So the grabber needs one. Grinder. I mean, the naming of these is slightly suspicious. It's fine. Live with it. Lift needs one. Lift needs one. Map's got one. Doesn't need one. That's going to be the first one. Periscope needs one. Cap steam consumer. I mean, this looks like an enormous change that I'm making late at night, and that would be partly true, but it's okay, probably. And then Pro Group, don't care, Fire Sprites, these are all things that are part of the Clomper, but they don't have stations. So if we run that up again, let's save it and run it. Here we go. Zach says, I usually look at the metadata when missing scripts happen just to make sure I don't need it. That's a good shout. I could have done that. This time, I just deleted it. Everything will be fine. Okay, something also else needs a steam port. What else? That tea boiler. I missed the tea boiler. Stone the crows. Imagine missing the tea boiler. Fine. Tea boiler is also going to be capped, and that will be capped, so that's fine. That will need one. Okay, what's this one here? Cap steam pressure. Oh, that's showing me the log. So in cap steam pressure 55. Steam values. It's not been set up. That's because it's not been set up. What is that? Wow, that is a random set of keys I've just punched there. And is it put something at the top? No. Interesting. Wonder what that was. Let's try run it up again. See if we got any red. Let's see if I can have removed all of the red that's my fault. The other VFX Manager ones, that is a problem for future Rob. Probably to ask Unity what on earth's going on. Doesn't seem to affect my game particularly. Right. So, right. Well, the first thing's this is a bit of a worry because they've all got steam coming out of them. They shouldn't, because they're all off. So that's not right. Let's find out why that is. Did I set something in Steam Producer? Steam Producer. Total potential pressure. Oh well, that will be it. I think that's it because I've told it it's at 60. What did I do in the boiler beforehand? Did I say go and have a look at your handle? Probably. Right. So if we see what I've changed, compare with unmodified. So I'm using Git now. For those of you not aware of Git, it tells you all the things that I've changed in this particular session of hacking stuff around. So potential steam pressure. How was this calculated before? It wasn't. It was just empty. That's interesting. Okay, it might be that the handle is using it. Or maybe not. Fine, that's all good. Well, let's just have that as a get set then. Fine, no problem. Let's move this as a get set. I won't give it a value. I'm a bit suspicious of that anyway. And has steam pressure. Also, stop that as well. Because that's probably going to get set at some point. Probably. By the handle. That's the thing actually. I have a steam port. Maybe. We'll come back to that. Let's see if we can get steam coming out of the boilers again. That'll be a small victory for this evening if I manage to do that. Not producing very much. Can't connect it to anything. But, you know, they're coming out of the boilers. It's alright. Isn't it? It's a small thing. Right. Coming in. Right. Can we get steam to come out of the boilers? Here we go. If I turn one of these handles, then will it come out? Right. So it thinks that there's steam coming out and it's shaking like it's working really hard. But is the heat going up? The heat's going up. So bits of it are working, but there's no actual steam coming out of the port. That's a concern. I'll be honest. Okay. So the next thing to get working is this Steam UI. Now I know this will be broken, which is fine because the Steam UI it's not connected up. We've not done that bit, so it doesn't know what its values are. So let's connect that up next. So the boiler UI, the boiler debug UI. This is it here, which is actually a newish class. I haven't had this in here for very long. It's going off to the boiler, which is actually really the Steam producer, and it's going to get a bunch of values. And I think this is because the algorithm isn't actually spreading it onto the boiler. I think that might be why. Okay, I think this might be some time for some interactive debugging. Dun dun dun. Let's see if we can connect Visual Studio into Unity and see if it can actually interactively debug some of this nonsense. It takes a moment to connect the interactive debugger. I don't know why. It's not like it's having to do a lot of work. I think Unity just panics a little bit. It's like, oh no, there's an interactive debugger. What do I do? Of course, Unity does speak in a slightly more sort of Cockney voice. True fact. Here we go. Right, that's the sign that it is actually connecting. Oh, object's not set to any. Oh, that's quite interesting. But not for now. Oh, that's when it quits. For some reason, certain things don't like it when it quits. So I've got those written down elsewhere. So I get exceptions thrown upon quitting. Something to do with the way in which I'm shutting down the netcode. Pretty sure it's my fault and not Unity's. I just couldn't see what it was when I last checked. And then I realised the Steam algorithm wasn't working. So I decided to bounce off that. Right, okay, so clear that one down. So we're all good. Now we're going to need a breakpoint in a sensible place. I wonder if I've got any breakpoints already. What breakpoints have I got running? Ooh, don't want any of those. Goodbye. We want them in this bit because we want to see the Steam spreading. Oh, hang on a minute. Is it registering itself? That's why. That's why. The producer isn't registering itself. I don't need it. That would be why. Public void awake. So on the awake, we're going to go to the Steam pressure algorithm, Steam pressure algorithm, and we're going to register myself. Where? Is it instance? Did I do it that way? Register, yes I did. And this, register this. Is it going to take the most greedy type? Probably will. That's fine. Steam producer. Yeah. And then it'll add it onto the nodes. That's also fine. Do I really want it on the nodes? Do I really want that? Do I really want that? If it's not one of those, that might mean it ends up. Actually, I don't think I want it on the nodes because it's not really a node. It's not. It really isn't. It's just not one of them. It's not one of them. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to remove that off the Steam producer. So producers are different. They're the starting point. They're not the network as a whole. They're not the pipes, and they're certainly not the things that consume the steam in the end. So yeah, that's probably fine. That's probably fine. Let's see if we can get steam coming out of the boilers again. Seems like I've changed an enormous amount of code and only managed to break everything. Right, what's this? Spread steam spread. Oh, this is more like it. Lovely. That's an error of something we should do something about. Oh yes. Okay, steam port's not being set up. Fine. Okay, that means we want. Oh, that's probably the steam ports of the boiler not being set up. That's cool. That's the steam producer. So the steam producer needs to go and get its steam ports. That's fine. How do I do it in here? Is it that simple? Ooh, that's not very nice. But it will do. And I set that to true in awake. Really? That's weird. There's a bunch of stuff here that's quite odd. I don't think I'm doing anything clever in there. No. Okay. So on steam producing, we need to get the ports. Where is that done then? Where's the what? 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 So even when this was a station, the station would have done it. That's why. Steam ports get a component in children. Steam port. That's why. So steam producer needs to do that, and also the consumer will need to do as well. Let me move this over here and pin this one. So yeah, you need to go and get your own steam ports. Oh, I'm already doing it. Of course I am. Genius. It was only an hour and a half ago. I've already forgotten I've done that. Parent steam. Cap steam consumer. Brilliant. That's that one in there. That's that one in there. Steam ports gets those. Cool. Okay. That should then solve that bug. And off we go. Doobly doobly doo. Oh, how is everyone out there? All well, I hope. Surviving wherever you are. Weather is good. Living is easy. Oh, right, okay, we're up and running. Let's try and turn on a boiler. Let's turn on this one. No. So the handle and the actual steamy bits are working. Is the heat algorithm's working? That needle is moving up. That's good. So that stuff is all right. But there's no steam coming out of it. Okay, no problem. Let's work through. Let's attach this one to Unity again. I should just leave it attached really, because it doesn't really matter if you do. Oh, I've been going for another 15 minutes and then we're gonna, or yeah, maybe another 5 minutes and then we'll be bouncing off. For those of you on YouTube, I'll be saying goodbye and then we'll raid on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch is quite the thing. It comes highly recommended. So let's run this up and let's give the steam algorithm a go. It would be nice to see some steam coming out the end, but I think the steam port may not know. Okay, so what's in the nodes? Oh, lots of things. These are a list of all the things that register themselves. So we've got the T-boiler, con, periscope, lift, grinder, 6 legs, and whoa, hang on a minute. Left front, left front. Oh, it's done it twice. That's interesting. Also wrong, but that's interesting. Okay, so let's just stop that for a minute because I think I need to get rid of this. Yeah. I think this is going to cause issues. What? Because if port is I consume steam pressure, yes. Consumers remove. What? What? Oh, that's deregister. I know what I'm looking at. Consumers add. So that's alright. That's just listing a list of consumers. Okay. If it doesn't contain... Oh, that's weird. Oh, is it because it's got more than one port? Possibly. Anyway, that was weird and I didn't understand that, but I can come back to that. That's odd. Oh, the fatigue. Oh, let's move that out of the way. Right, let's try again. So, let's just jump over that, and I'm not going to worry too much about that at all. Stick a breakpoint further down. Who are we dealing with at the moment? Boiler number 2. Cool. Okay. So boiler number 2 probably actually has. So total potential pressure hasn't been set. Well, that's why there's there's naught coming out. Right. Fine. So if we now go to the boiler, does this still have a total potential pressure on here? There's still total handle pressure. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't do that properly, so let's now... Oh, is this because it still has... Oh, okay. It's just... Well, okay. I'm just going to pop that off there. And I'm going to pop it onto the producer, which isn't brilliant. Now, it won't actually have access to the handle directly, so I'm going to have to either go via here, which I think I prefer. I think I want to go up to the parent. So has it got the boiler yet? No. Let's bring the parent in. And it can be one of those because it doesn't have to do anything else. Get component and parent. Parent. And that will be a boiler. Cool, so it has access to its parent, and then we want to say go and get the handle pressure off here. Now it's probably complaining because it already has one of these. It does. Okay, although it's calculated to stick at the top because it's really important. Well, nothing to override probably. There we go. Lovely. That should now fix the steam coming out issue because it will actually have pressure. Let's attach it as well. It's attached to Unity while it's running up. It's probably asking a lot of it. Let's pop over to chat. And Debugging code 2. Yes, Pandemic, that's exactly what I do. And we're going to say goodbye to that one. 2 Lunas. Time for me to go in a deep lurk state 1-1. Well, it's great. Thank you for coming along. It's great. Going to cook dinner. Thank you so much for the chill times. Much appreciated, my one. Great to see you. Okie dokie. Now, how are we doing in here? So that's attached, but this is not run. Oh, I feel like it's close. Although I think the steam, the actual steam stuff that comes out the end, is probably may not be looking in the wrong place. It may be because I'm using the interface. It might be looking at the producer. So the potential pressure is still nothing. Oh, it's because I haven't run anything yet. That's fine. There is no potential pressure. So back in here, haven't turned anything on. Everything is off. Hello, little dudes. Everything's off in here. Okay, so now, if I come in here and now I did that to boiler number 2, I think. Yes, total potential pressure is 10. Fantastic. That's very exciting. So I'm just going to let that run on. Anything come out of the boiler? No. No. But we go to Steam UI and we mess with this now. Okay. That is correct. The output is 20. 20 is unused. And the heat is 20. That is correct. Whew, and it should keep going up. Yes. It should go down. And it go down to 0. There's no steam coming out though. There's nothing on the steam port. That's a bit upsetting. Let's find out, see if we can work out why that is. So the thing that controls the steam is cleverly called steam. And the amount, if parent is I consume steam pressure, well, that would be a problem. Okay. Because it's not called that anymore. It would be called cat steam consumer. So usually it switches on automatically. So if it's capped, then it switches off. Oh, parent is, for the moment, this is nasty. I hate doing this, but it's fine for the moment. Steam producer. So it's either those two, or this could be better pattern matching. We got pattern matching? We do. Lovely. Love a bit of pattern matching. Takes a bit of getting used to, but I do like it. Cool. Okay, so on the update loop, it's gonna let's just bung something in here and see what it's got. Oh, parent has steam pressure. Okay, but that's probably the thing, because that's probably it, because it that has steam pressure is probably off. Yeah. So what does the boiler do for this? I wonder if it asks the handle. Has steam pressure. It just sets it to true. Look at that. Fantastic. Why would it do that? That's weird. Has steam pressure. If it's broken, it's off. Repaired, it's true. That's weird. Okay. That's fine but weird. So that's on the producer. Let's say you have steam pressure. I suppose it always does, but if it's switched off, that's very strange. I think I know why though. I think you don't get any steam out the end because there's just not enough of it. It's always on. Oh, there's lots of things that are going to complain when I do this. It has steam pressure. Oh, so this is going to have to be producer. If it doesn't have steam pressure, it must be broken. And if it's broken, this is the producer has steam pressure. I should probably have a broken method on the producer, but that's okay. We can deal with that later. Pop over to here. It's going to rebuild. Buildy. Oh, and our survey said. Here we go. And it's built. Lovely. Let's run it up, see what bursts into flames. Hopefully not the boilers. If we can get the boilers putting steam out, that's a big jump. That's the first one, because the pipes should all work the same way. There's all those red marks. Don't like those very much. Right, so we put the steam UI on. Still nothing coming out at the end of there. We're not getting the UI, steam UI on the pipes either. It's weird. I turn it off and turn it back on again. Oh yeah, it's fine. Okay. Oh, actually, that probably does make sense. Okay, so if we put some steam coming out, is it going along? No, the algorithm is still broken. But that's kind of weird. Okay. Well, it's in a slightly messed up state, but I feel like we've done an enormous amount of progress this evening. We've got the new architecture in for the new steam. I wonder if this can go bang now. Let's see if they all still go bang. Heat 100. Here we go. We're going to see any bangs this evening. Oh, will they go bang? We just don't know. If you're running your Clomper a bit like this, that would be a bad thing. Stuff is going to go bang. And you're going to be fixing a lot of bits. So, way, there we go. I'm glad I got the sound off at the moment, because that makes me jump every time. Oh, it's all gone very Pete Tong. Well, I'm glad the heat algorithm's still working. You can tell, because the thing's going bang means the heat algorithm's working. So for those on YouTube, two Loodles, I'm going to be pausing the stream now. Thank you so much for coming. And those on Twitch, we're going to do a raid in a moment. So I'm just going to pause the YouTube peeps. Thank you very much for coming. And I'm going to try and stop YouTube only. If they all disappear completely, thank you so much for coming. It's been great fun, and I hope to see you again next week. Okay, fingers crossed on this. And hopefully that is now stopped only on YouTube. Probably. Anyway, let's see if we can got anyone left to do a raid. Right, where's a raid channel? Who have we got? People I'm following. People I like to follow. I follow quite a lot of other game devs, so this should be quite easy. Oh, now we did. Oh, let's just jump on in to Manisha. So thank you very much, everyone. We're going to be raiding Manisha. I hope you have a great day if it's not at the end, or a great sleep if it is. Toodle.